Welcome. This is Barry Jones from Angelic Wisdom, and we're here for our monthly Angelscope for the sign of Leo for the month of April 2023. So, before I begin, I'd just like to welcome everyone back to this monthly angel reading and to also welcome anyone who's new to our Angelic Wisdom community. So, before we begin, just make sure that you take the time to subscribe, select the all notification bell, like, dislike, and leave comments. Um, I will be posting a link to the general monthly angel reading if you haven't seen it yet in the description area below. So all the links that I'm going to mention are just below this video. So if you'd like to get an angel reading with me, you can do so at my current website, theangelschool.com/services. And you can select the first time promotional offer if you're a first time client. And there are other options there for anyone else who has had readings with me before. Also, if you just like to donate to my channel, you can select my PayPal me link. And any amount that you choose to offer will be greatly appreciated. I'm just going to ask you to include your email address because for some reason with the PayPal me link, it doesn't. I can find it on my I have to go on the website to PayPal rather than through my app, but through the app I can't find it. But just in case, to make sure it gets to the right email address. Thank you. So let's take a look at the format of this reading. So the card in the middle will be a message from an angelic being, and the cards on the left and the right, this one is from the Major Arcana and the other from the Minor Arcana. So the Major Arcana highlights the major themes, lessons, energies, influences that are moving through your life, and shaping your life. And then the Minor Arcana says how this is showing up in your life and your day-to-day awareness and how you might work with it. So now let's take a moment to take a deep breath. And just take a moment to connect in with your heart space and the roots from your feet, just rooting yourself into the earth, and to your higher self, just connecting in with your I am presence and calling in all of the guardians of light who surround you. And oh my goodness, there's so many. And the energy of Jesus is coming through. And gosh, they talk about your greatness and maybe in terms of plans and ideas. And they wanted to help you smooth over some things in your life. This suggests to me that they acknowledge that you've been having a bit of a rocky period, maybe a rather lengthy stint of just a lot of ups and downs, and sort of it's creating a sense of instability in your consciousness. And they show me a hand with a soul in it, so that he's got the whole world in his hand. And they really want you to know that they've been holding you in their hands, that God has been holding you in his hands, and that the angels and the ascended masters have been surrounding you. And they show me a cross, and it's like very thin, like it's made out of some kind of metal pole, like just very, very thin. But that this it feels as though they keep just showing me different types of crosses. that, you've been trying to manifest things, but you've just been running into a lot of personal challenges, and it's been bringing up a lot of personal pain for you. um, they show me the symbol of a woman, sort of in her, well, it's funny because it looked like a negligee, at first, but it kind of looks like a dress. It could be, now sometimes they do that. The top part of it is sort of that type of material. It's fitted and very thin, but the top part of it sort of looked more like it, was something you could wear out. And I'm not quite sure why that showed up, but it gives me a sense of, the divine feminine, in the sense of that because going out in this kind of, it's thin, right? So there's not a lot of protection in terms of weather, but it looks really good. I don't know if it just represents a sense of style or flair or unique, perspective or behavior from you, and this connection. I'm just seeing a lot of now, like a lot of like fashion, women's fashion, and it just really just speaks to the fluidity of your ability to channel inspiration. Okay, and maybe you've just been feeling like you haven't been able to really connect, like you keep getting bumped off, like logged out, like some kind of malfunction, in an app, when it just like says, okay, the problem is, just throws you off, throws you out of the app, and you're trying to figure out how to stay within this. You had no problems with this at all. So there's a new level of vulnerability that you need to really embrace, because in your world, channeling inspiration brings lots of, you know weirdness, right? I mean, it's an eccentric kind of, lifestyle, and you may feel like you hit your peak, but no, there's more uniqueness, authenticity, but it requires you to really expose yourself. Now, maybe you don't know how, maybe you lost control of this in the past, maybe through some kind of, other element that crept in that you might have used to help you to manage it, or to feel comfortable with it all. And that took you sort of really off path. Um, but you've got to face this with all of yourself, right? The good and the bad. That place in the middle is where you are going to find that place of acceptance. In the middle is where you're going to find like a deeper drawer, or deeper levels of your ability to channel inspiration and to uplift others through your craft, whatever it might be. So compassion to yourself at this time. All right, let's take a look at the Archangel. It's Archangel Mallory, and she is the twin flame of Archangel Uriel. So, our, Archangel, her color is a deep burgundy. Okay, so this is just a deeper frequency of wisdom and love, right? And she says, remember who you are. Take action when you are ready. So there's something in this. There's a peace in this. Right now, you need to make peace with yourself and where you are. Because you're thinking, I'm off I'm off my game, or I'm just not on my path right now. I'm stagnating. I'm nowhere. And what if it's where you are is where you need to be? What if this is about recharging, right? But while you recharge, don't let your ego convince you it's because you're lame. That like that you're lame and your fame was like 2 seconds and you didn't deserve it in the first place. Don't let your ego, this is a time to recharge. So you've been on the, like, think about like an electric car, you've been driving it, and then you have to stop and recharge. If you don't, you're going to be stranded, and maybe you'll get stranded in between a desert, and then you'll really be dependent on the generosity of others. But that will come too if you need it. But recharging has a whole nother, purpose behind it. It is so that your body, because you channel so much inspiration, that your body may not always be, because of self care, up to speed with the same frequency or vibration. But remembering who you are in this time, to have this time to reflect upon all that you've done, and maybe like when I was seeing all those different fashions, whatever it is that you do, you need to take stock of that. Like, this is a time that the universe is giving you to take stock of all that you've done. Like, to just give you the opportunity to say, I did that. Not to say, I used to be able to do that, and then pity yourself. No, it's about remembering who you are and remembering how good it felt. Because sometimes we're just going so fast, we don't make time to appreciate. And that's what I think appreciation, if I was going to define it, is remembering how good things felt. Remember how good really was. And sometimes your good was just great, but you weren't really aware of the greatness, the great impact that it had on you. You were aware that you were great, but that was all the superficial stuff. That's not the stuff that sustains you. And that's what they want you to become aware of. And so, working with Archangel Mallory, she'll enfold you in deep, this deep form of love and wisdom that allows you to sort of, I don't want to say hibernate, but really just sort of be rooted, planted, soaking in this frequency. Because all of that which the reason for appreciation is to receive all that you have given, all that you have done. Within that is sort of a restoration and a rejuvenation, taking you like to a higher level than you were before. So you're trying to get back into that same lane or that same dimension when you're at another one. And the door won't open for that one because that's not where you deserve to be any longer. So try the next level up. Go deeper into your expression. Don't be afraid that if you shift what you've offered, that nobody's coming with you. Maybe maybe a lot of those people won't. But see, this is the thing about the universe, because you're being narrow-minded and not thinking about the universe is infinite, and that you're going to have a whole new level of followers or clients, so to speak. All right, so let's take a look at, see, the World card. This is just giving me that sense of you tapping in to this greatness and finding a whole new world of resources and opportunities available to you. This confirms that chapter, you accomplished it greatly. And the universe is immensely proud of you. Brava, bravo, right? Bravi. That's what they're doing. But like my grandmother and grandfather always used to say, and we used to hate to hear him say it, but every time we had to leave, they would say, all good things must come to an end. Good things should come to an end because greater things should begin. And this is what this card is really talking about, that you've reached that high level of achievement, but yes, you can't sustain it because it's time for you to step it up even higher. Because you're each time reaching a greater and better audience. And some people are going to go through that transition with you and some will not. But that's okay because there's plenty on every level. Infinite. Okay, so how is this showing up in your day-to-day awareness? This is a tough card. What choice do I make? Right? What choice do I make? And then you start thinking about, oh, if I do this, and then, well, and then what happens? You're stuck, right? You're stagnating. You're procrastinating. You're finding reasons not to move forward. And that little self-pity game is just the glue to make you stick right there and not step into that next highest level. So what you've got to do is understand this. You have to trust your inspiration, your ability to channel inspiration. You have to trust it. Any one of these paths will work out for you. That is not this is not a game. Your ego is making it one, but it's not a game. This is life. Each one of these trophies represents an opportunity to live life to the fullest. So all you got to do is choose the one that resonates with you the most and trust it. Maybe it's a little scary in there too because it's going to challenge you a little bit more. And so it shouldn't be comfortable. So choose the one that you're not the most uncomfortable with, but choose the one that you're excited about, but you're slightly uncomfortable. Or, considerably uncomfortable, but you're excited. All right, so I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and have a beautiful month, Leo. We're rooting for you in this rejuvenation period, as well in this time of being, just being. All right, God bless you. Have a beautiful month.